So this is a little bit different than the other 2 days of this vlog so far. The thing with DinoLand's last day is I, as much as I really wanted to vlog everything and just get into that mindset of vlogging for the first time this trip, I really wanted to just be in the moment and enjoy Dino-Rama's last day. Just because I don't get to the parks super often anymore, like I'm not a local and Dino-Rama is really important to me. I was taking tons of footage and tons of photos on my camera and my phone and everything anyways, but I just didn't want to take more time to stop what I was doing and talk to my phone. I just wanted to be in the moment as much as I could. So I have a lot of clips and a lot of footage from Dino-Rama's last day, but I don't have a lot of me actually talking and telling you what I'm feeling or what the plan is or anything like that. So I'm going to kind of fill it in now from home as I go and fill in some of the things that I didn't get on camera that were just interesting parts of the day. I'm not like scripting this or anything. I'm just talking to myself on the floor of my living room because I figured my Disney books is the best background I have. Yes, my nail is still broken from winning the prize. It's fine. So, Dino-Rama's last day, I woke up extremely early to get there right for early entry, right at 7:30. So I got to the park. I think I walked in at like 7:35, which was fine because it's not like I was trying to rope drop a ride or anything. I just wanted to spend the whole day in Dino-Rama. So I got there around 7:35. The marathon was still coming through DinoLand, which was really cool. I've I've done one Run Disney race a long time ago. I did the Tower of Terror 10 miler, which I really wish they would bring back, by the way, because that race was like my favorite length, my favorite theme. I've never been in the parks while a Run Disney event is coming through, so that was really cool. Just the atmosphere, like walking into Dinoland in the morning with everybody cheering on the runners, that was awesome. It was cool that I got to be there for that. A lot of the runners were going right on Triceratops spin, which is so fun. The games did not open right away, which like makes I don't know what time the games normally would open at this point in Dinoland. I know like back a long time ago when I worked there, they opened kind of with the park. I think that might have changed lately because they opened a little later than the park both days that I was there. And none of this matters now, but just for context, the games weren't open. I kind of walked around and got a lot of photos and videos of them while they were closed still, which was really nice with the camera because I got a lot of really good close-up shots of all of the details on the game. Like on Fossil Fueler, I got like the gas tanks really close up, which is really good. Mammoth Marathon, I got the mammoths. Wackapaca Cephalosaur, I got like the mallets close up. I got the little dinos like in their holes. So just a lot of little details like that I was able to get, I think, some good pictures of. I'm still going through and editing them before they opened. So that was really good that I was there early for that. So when the games did open, they were out of all of the dinosaur prizes as to be expected. So I'm so happy that I went the day before to play some of the games because I was surprised that they had any dinosaur prizes left the day before Rama's last day. So I was not surprised at all that they had no dinosaurs left. The only prizes they had left were May from Turning Red. I totally don't know the hedgehog's name. I haven't seen the movie yet, which I know is terrible, but I think it's a hedgehog. Maybe it's not even a hedgehog, and then I feel terrible. But it was somebody from Raya and the Last Dragon, which I haven't seen. I need to do that. Priscilla from Zootopia, which I think is so funny because isn't she only in like the very end? Isn't she like, I might even be a credit scene, right? Am I making that up? I feel like she's barely in it because she's the sloth from the registry, right? Okay, I need to watch Zootopia again, I guess, too. They had a Sally, I don't even know what it was, if it was a pillow pet, maybe. I'm obviously not very in touch with what these plushes were, but they had some sort of Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas. It was kind of weird looking, even though it was like a bigger prize. They had a Pluto, I think it was a Munchling, one of those like food themed plushes, but it was Pluto. And then the only other prize I think they had while I was there was some Mickeys that I think are left over from Pride Month. I did win, this might have been in yesterday's vlog, but just while we're talking about games, I did win a Mickey. Actually, I won all of the prizes except for Sally and Pluto at some point. I played the games a lot. Every time I thought I was done playing the games, I just couldn't help it and I went back and got more tickets. Because I just kept thinking, like, these, like, they were such an important part of my college program and such a big part of my memories at Disney in general, and like I'll never be able to play them again. We don't need to calculate how much I spent on games tickets during this trip, but I played the games a lot. Every time I stopped, I was like, oh, I should play them one more time.
Buttons. My first friend who fills the tank all the way to the top, making that blue light go off, is my one and only winner. And since we have 10 friends competing in this game, we are going to be playing for our Mickey Mouse.
I do really like the Pride Mickey though. So this is, he's cute. He can stay. I'm happy with him. I probably would have kept the other ones if I had the space, but I don't have a ton of room in this apartment for a like mountain of plush. So of the not dinosaur prizes, Mickey was the only one that I really felt compelled to keep. But while we are on the topic of games, so the day before the vlog that I posted before this, I posted that I won the Iguanodon. And I really wanted the Cementosaurus, but it was just not happening. The only game that had Cementosaurus when I was there still was Brontoscore. And I swear this sounds like I'm bluffing or something. I used to be like halfway decent at Brontoscore when I worked there. And I don't fault them for it. I don't mean to sound like I'm accusing them or anything. And like, again, this doesn't matter now. It's all closed. But the balls were not that inflated when I worked there. I was thrown off by that. I did really terrible at Brontoscore, and there was no way I was going to get 3 baskets to win the Cementosaurus. But I did win the Iguanodon. I won the Iguanodon on Whack-A-Pack-A-Cephalosaur, like the whack-a-mole game. I was really excited about it, but the Cementosaurus was the goal. So the day before the vlog that you're watching now, someone came up to me in the park and offered to trade all of the non-dinosaur prizes that he had for my Iguanodon. And I, of course, was like, no. Which sounds terrible now because he ended up being like really nice, and I'll get to this. But obviously no. So I did not trade. And then the next day, he was also here for Dino-Rama's last day. And at that point, he had a Cementosaurus with him. And I saw him, and I think he was in line in front of me to buy more games tickets. And I was like, hey, aren't you the guy who tried to trade for my Iguanodon yesterday? And he was like, oh, yeah, I was. So then we started talking about the prizes that we did have at this point, because he was collecting all of them. And I was obviously way too behind to collect all of them because I was only there for the last day. But he had a Cementosaurus. I now had the Iguanodon that he wanted. So we made a trade, and that was super exciting because I still kind of got the satisfaction of winning a prize since I won the Iguanodon. But what I actually ended up taking home was the one I wanted. So that worked out perfectly. I didn't get any of that in the vlog. I probably should have. He probably would have been okay being filmed. If you're watching this, you can let me know. I don't know if you'll watch this. But yeah, so that was really exciting because I just wanted Cementosaurus, since that's really where I worked more often. I did sometimes work at the Dino Institute with the Iguanodon, but really this was what I wanted. I spent the whole day in DinoLand. I think I even said in the morning, I went into this day thinking like, oh, like it probably won't take that long to do everything I want to do in DinoLand. Like it's a small land. I obviously want like enough time to savor everything, but like I'll probably go on Everest or something. No. As it turns out, especially trying to get good pictures of everything with my camera in DinoLand, it took the whole day. I didn't get pictures of everything. I got pictures of everything I wanted in Dino-Rama, which was obviously the most important part. I did try to get pictures of as much as I could in the merchandise location in Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures. I brought my zoom lens specifically so I could get up into all of like the small details in there. And that was really challenging. Like the lighting in there is really challenging. I'm not a professional photographer. There's a lot of people in there, obviously. So maybe that just took longer than it should have. I do think I got some really good photos, but that took a really long time. I obviously played the games a bunch. I rode Triceratops spin probably like 3 times. I had to like eat and all that type of stuff at points. So I did not end up leaving Dinoland. It took the whole day. I really did want to get some more photos of Restaurantosaurus, just in case I'm not back by the time Restaurantosaurus closes. That didn't really happen because I didn't have that much time. I started to, so I have some photos of it. Hopefully, I will just be back before the rest of DinoLand goes away. And the Boneyard, I didn't really even get to at all. The vibe of being anywhere in Disney for the last day of a thing is really cool, especially if it's a thing that has meaning to you. I was also there for the last day of Lights Motors Action, which was the other location where I worked during my Disney College program. And it's just a whole different vibe, even aside from the connection that I obviously have from working there, both in Dinoland and in LMA when that closed. Seeing the guests who that was their favorite thing in the parks all come out and kind of celebrate the last day is just a really cool experience to be a part of. More so at Dinoland. At LMA, it was much more like Cars fans and fans of like the drivers and things like that. But in Dinoland, you had a lot of really fun dinosaur outfits or Dinoland themed outfits, just some like really cool earrings and dresses, kind of the retro vibes that Dino-Rama had. A lot of those type of outfits, like people got really into it. A lot of fan made shirts and signs and things like that that were cool. There was one person who had all of the old plush prizes just like attached to his outfit. And that's kind of something that you really just get when you have the last day of a thing. Like I would remember the last day of Wishes was like that before Happily Ever After started. Like everybody who was there like camped out for a long time waiting for the last wishes was like in it. And it's cool to be a part of that. So a lot of people at Dinoland's last day brought their prizes from home, like the older prizes. It kind of made me wish I brought mine, but my packing situation for this trip was a mess. There's no way I could have brought a bunch of old plushes. This one was a pain to get home as it was. I do have one of the original dinosaurs from when Dino-Rama first opened, like one of the first prizes they had that I got when I was 6, the first time I went. So that would have been cool. And then I think we called them Rexies. I don't know if that was official or if that was just what we called them when I worked there, but I have a Rexy. The little dinosaurs that kind of look like Yoshi. I have one of those from when I worked there too. And now I have a Cementosaurus. um, so it would have been fun if I brought the old prizes, but there was just no way I was going to carry them around. I like exclusively ate at Restaurantosaurus the whole day, which I would not recommend. Restaurantosaurus is really fun for the theming and all the details. I don't think it's the best. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad. It's like far from the best food in Animal Kingdom. I really should have just like left and got Flame Tree, but at some point I was just in it and like my day was Dinoland and like I was not leaving. So I ate a lot of Restaurantosaurus. I don't think I need to give you a review of the kids' chicken fingers or a burger from Restaurantosaurus. It's your standard Disney quick service food. I think you guys know what to expect. So because I'm not local anymore, I did kind of do as many things as I would want to do in Dinoland as if the whole land was closing. And I purposely did that just because I don't know when I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll be back for the last day of Dinosaur, but I also don't know. We don't know yet how many like phases of closures Dinoland is going to have. And if there's a separate one for Dinosaur than there is for like Restaurantosaurus or the Boneyard or something, like I just can't keep taking all these trips just for the end of Dinoland, plus like other times that I want to go to Disney or anywhere else or saving money. Like I can't just keep doing that. So maybe I will, but without knowing like when and what is happening there, I didn't want to like commit to that. And if I only make it for one piece of Dinoland's closure, like it needed for sure to be Rama's last day. So just in case, I rode Dinosaur and I spent a lot of time in Restaurantosaurus and I met some of the characters. I didn't even get to all the characters. It is crazy when you try to take all these pictures in Dinoland, how you can be there the whole day and not have enough time to do everything. Dinosaur looked the best it has in a really long time. Like the movements of the animatronics, the lighting, and some of the effects and things in the ride. Like I don't think and everything was working really well. I don't think I've seen it like that in a long time. So it was cool that I got to see it like that. It would be cooler if it was staying open. I do kind of want before Dinosaur closes to get some things from the gift shop. And I feel like I've been saying this for years. Like every time I'm in that gift shop, I'm like, oh, the remote control ride vehicle would be cool to have, or one of those rubber dinosaurs would be cool to have, or the puppet, like what Dr. Seeker uses in the pre-show, would be cool. But I'm always like, I don't need to buy it right now. That stuff has been here for like 20 years. I'll get it next time. But obviously, at some point now, there's not going to be a next time. So my actual next time that I'm there, I think I might do some damage in the Dino Institute store. I met Pluto and Goofy before in their old location before Donald's Dino Bash, and I would like to meet them again. But like, if it doesn't happen, not a priority. My priority with characters was the Chipmunks and Daisy. The Chipmunks, obviously, because of their adorable dinosaur onesies. I don't know. I think Daisy's kind of underrated. I like the theme of what she's doing in DinoLand. How she's like designing the costumes. I think her whole like set area is really cool. And I hadn't met her before. I mean, I have met Daisy before, but not in DinoLand. So I wanted to make sure I did that too. So I met them. I can put in some pictures here. So I think this video I'm going to title something with DinoLand's last day. And I'm kind of doing it because to me, it's probably like very well could be my last time going to DinoLand. I'm not sure from watching other people's content and seeing people in the parks if they know that not everything was closing that day. I went to the Restaurantosaurus lounge just because, again, I wanted to make sure I did everything in case I don't go back. And the people directly in front of me and behind me in line both did not know what they were in line for. They just got in the line to go in because there was a line and that like crowd mentality. And then both, like, once they realized what it was, were both immediately separately from each other, like, oh, it's because it's closing today. Today's the last day. And I obviously probably know if you're watching this, like it was not the last day of Restaurantosaurus. So I don't know how many people who are not super in the Disney bubble actually think that that was the end of everything in Dinoland. Hopefully, if they go again, they'll be pleasantly surprised. But I guess just to like clear up confusion, if you're watching this, not everything in Dinoland is closed now. The only things that are closed are Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama. So the Fossil Fun Games are closed, Triceratops Spin, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures. Primeval World, the roller coaster that was over there, is also closed, but it also is no longer even standing. It's been closed for a long time. So the carnival area is really what closed. And Restaurantosaurus, the Boneyard, Dinosaur, and then a couple of smaller things. Like, it's been a long day, and I'm blinking, but the stand, when you come over the bridge from Discovery Island with the buffalo chicken chips, I assume that'll maybe just be rethemed. I hope it'll be rethemed because I love those chips. But yeah, so that stuff is staying open for now. I did everything because I wasn't sure when I would be back. And I'm sure a lot of other people did that too. Like people who don't live there were probably just trying to get in everything. Like if you don't go to Disney even every year or so, you like most likely would not be back for Dinoland. But I do equally think there were a lot of people who just thought the whole thing was closing. So after Dinosaur, I really spent a lot of time in the gift shop. I did hear that, right? I mean, I saw this. I kind of assumed why, but I guess this is what was happening. In the gift shop, they had like Disney security and like just regular police in there, I guess, to make sure people weren't taking home little souvenirs. So I got all the photos that I wanted in Chester and Hester's and really just took in all the details there. By the time I got out of Chester and Hester's, I think I might have done one more round in the games, one more ride on Triceratops Spin, and then some more photos of like the billboards and things that I wanted to get. By the time it started to get dark, it really felt like it was like this is the end and it's closing. So like the world's largest pin truck that had been there since Donald's Dino Bash started, that closed a little bit earlier than everything else. I don't think there was a reason or anything. It was just that the park was getting ready to close. And then I don't know, I just took a lot of moments. And I got some of this on camera, but I didn't get a ton because I just wanted to be in the moment. But I took a lot of moments to just kind of take it all in. Especially as it got dark out and it was lit up. Because Dino-Rama was really beautiful at night. Like, I don't care what anybody says, the theme was tacky and everything. It was a beautiful place to be after dark. So I really just took some time to look at everything and just like be in the moment and cry. I was nowhere near the end of the line for Triceratops spin because I didn't work at Triceratops. I only worked in the games and in the gift shop and like the carts and things. So the games was like my priority. So I didn't try to get in line for the end of Triceratops. It was really emotional for me watching the games close for the last time. But it was cool even before that. The cast members who worked the last night of DinoLand, like, were so into it. They were amazing. I wish I had all of their names and I would like write them cast compliments or 4 keys cards, whatever it is, 5 keys cards, whatever. Now, if you see them in this video and you know them, please tell me their names and I will do that because they were so into it. Like everybody who was closing the games in the last night, the spieling was incredible. They were like having so much fun with guests and like making the best of what had to be. I mean, it was hard for me to be there. I was super emotional. I'm getting emotional now. But they were amazing. So if you know them, please tell me and I will leave them cast compliments. Everybody was cheering for the last people to win each of the games as they closed.
Sorry. No pressure. I know it's a lot of pressure. I should have bought a ticket.
I'm going to go one more spot! One more spot! The man with the best outfit on, the best dress right here. Okay, friends! Welcome to the very last game of Wacko Packo Cephalosaur! We're gonna want to smack them back down as fast as possible. Each one is worth 10 points, and the first one to 150 is the one and only winner of Mayday from Turning Red.
DinoLand was just, and still is, it's just such an important time in my life. It was the first time that I moved that far away from home. So it was the first time I felt like truly independent. It was a role that really challenged me. But every job I've had since the Disney College program, none of it is, I don't think will ever be as challenging as DinoLand was for me. Just because of the public speaking aspect. Yeah, I mean, I'm just not, I'm very introverted. I don't know how much this comes across in video. It probably does a lot. But it was a lot for me to be on like that all day in DinoLand. And I'm like really proud that I did that. DinoLand also, it's why my blog has taken off in any kind of capacity. Why I've been able to keep my blog going for so long. Because it started as a blog about the Disney College program. It led to my first book being published. It just led to so many opportunities for me, and I will always be grateful.